If you're just beginning your songwriting journey or you've written a few songs and you want some extra guidance, then this video is for you. Songwriting is amazingly rewarding when you get into it. The problem is it seems like there's quite a high barrier to entry, and it's really easy to judge your efforts as not good enough. So in this video, I'm going to massively simplify the process for you and teach you how to write without judgment. And whilst my channel focuses on metal, what we discuss today can easily be applied to any genre. Before we get into it, I want to dispel some myths. There's a common perspective that you either have it or you don't. Simply, this is bullshit. Do you think your favorite artist's first ever song was their best? No, you can clearly hear them improve from album to album as they increase their skills as a songwriter. To obtain creative skills like songwriting, you need to treat it like practice. The more you do it, the better you will get. Also, when you're writing your own songs, you naturally compare them to your favorite songs. These songs have been written by someone or a team of people that have way more experience than you. You can't compare yourself when you've got little to no skill with someone who has years and years of experience. If your song isn't as good as theirs, that makes sense. And when you get to a point where you've got years of experience and you and your team are writing the song together, you would hope that that's a lot better than the person who's never done it before. You're only in competition with yourself, and your priority should be about learning how to write songs, not judging on whether they're good or bad quality. You can worry about the quality later. And that's the biggest lesson in this video. Allow yourself to be bad at songwriting. Soon enough, bad will turn into average, average will eventually turn into good, and good will become great. And then, when you look back on the first few songs, you will be grateful that you wrote them, no matter how bad they are. Step 1, research. Pick 3 songs that sound like the song that you want to write. I suggest you choose 3 simple songs because, as you can imagine, some 15-minute Dream Theater epic is going to be a lot harder to write than Linkin Park. I'm choosing to do mid-2000s metalcore, and the 3 songs that I've picked are The End of Heartache by Killswitch Engage, 2 Weeks by All That Remains, and Tears Don't Fall by Bullet for My Valentine. The first thing you want to do is listen to these songs a handful of times to get your head into the genre. Once you feel like you've connected with the genre, start analyzing the music. Jot down things like the tone or instrumentation, chord progressions, melodic patterns, structures, keys, tempos, or pretty much any distinguishing feature that you can think of. In saying that, don't go too deep here. We're just trying to look for the more obvious patterns. The hyper-specific details are less important. Only extract enough information so that you feel like you roughly know what's going on in the music. So now that we've got our head into the genre and have a few useful bits of information, let's move on to step 2. Create a song map. Based on the research that we've done, we can start laying out something similar and create our own song map. The most important things to choose here are the structure, the key as in major or minor, and the tone and instrumentation. Whatever other patterns that you've found, like chord progressions or melodic patterns, you can start to think about where they belong in this structure. For me, all 3 songs had a verse and a chorus, 2 of the songs had a bridge, and only 1 song had a pre-chorus. All of the songs were minor, and the instrumentation was just a standard metal band. The vocals were melodic, but there was some screaming interjected here and there. A pattern that I noticed was that all 3 choruses used the same 3 chords, which is the 6, 7, and 1. In addition to that, all of the choruses had a halftime feel. Based on that, my song will be in minor, I will use the same instrumentation, and I will use the verse, chorus, and bridge structure. We can change this stuff later if we want, but for now, we should have a pretty clear map of the song. And hopefully you've got some more specific patterns that you can lean on, like what I found in my choruses. And that brings us to step 3, start writing. Now that you've got all this laid out, you just need to start writing. It doesn't matter if you write the music for the whole song first and then come back and write the vocal line, or vice versa. Or maybe you want to write the music and the vocal line for one section before you move on to the next. Now, the most important part here is not to judge what you write. Remember that you only have a tiny amount of experience as a songwriter. If your verse sounds a bit weak, that's okay. And sure, if you write something that you absolutely hate, work on it a bit until you hate it just that little bit less, but it does not have to be perfect. And if you're really struggling, set yourself a 5-minute timer to complete the melody or the chord progression or the riff or whatever you're working on. And when that 5 minutes is up, that's it. Once again, this is not about perfection, it's about learning how to write a song. For now, we just want the core ideas of the song to be built. Don't get distracted and try to perfect one particular section. Just make sure that you've got enough material to fill out the structure. So following these steps, I have come up with 3 different ideas. Here's my verse idea. Here's my chorus idea using the halftime feel and the chords that I found in my choruses. And here's the bridge idea. All I did was write a riff that felt similar to what might appear in one of the example songs. I added suitable drums and bass and then sang over the top until I found something I liked. But realistically, all you need for any idea is chords and a vocal line like this.
I've waited for all your needs, you wanted more, but won't concede.
The rest of the music is just supporting or embellishing these ideas and can come at a later point. Now, I know I'm glazing over these details, but this video is about writing your first song. I don't want you to overthink anything. I want you to make your own song based on a song that you already know you enjoy. If you want to learn how I wrote exactly what you just heard, that will be the next video that I upload. I will leave links here in this video when it's up. For now, we're keeping it simple. And then we move to step 4, turn it into a song. At this stage, you should at least have enough solid ideas for a full song. Now you can start building out the instrumentation, working on the lyrics, changing up that shit melody, or doing whatever else needs to be done. You may have a problem if you wrote the verse, chorus, or bridge in isolation to each other, and now you try and put them together and they simply don't belong. This is okay. It's your first song. Once again, please don't judge yourself here. You will get better with time. If you want to avoid this problem in the future, make sure that when you're writing the verse, you spend at least a few seconds thinking about how this might lead to the chorus. And then when you're working on the chorus, think about how this might lead back to the verse or onwards to the bridge. Musical transitions can be very simple or insanely complex. For now, simply thinking about how to get from one section to another as you're writing it should be enough. Trust your judgment. Step 4 is completed when you can sit back, listen, and say, holy shit, this is a song, no matter how good or bad it might be. Step 5, congratulate yourself. This is your first song. Maybe the transitions are a bit janky, maybe some of the melodies are crap, or maybe there's two elements that just grind together in a really bad way. My answer to that is so what? You've now passed the barrier of never having written a song. And the beautiful thing is, you don't have to show anyone, ever. The next song you write will come with a different set of problems, which means that you'll have a different outcome, and as a result, you will learn more. The most important part though is you can now see that you don't need to reinvent the wheel every time you go to write a song. It's okay to borrow ideas that already exist in the world. Every artist does it. And if your experience is anything like mine when I first started songwriting, it means that you now have some hope. Sure, there's some elements of this that are crap and should be burnt, but there are some aspects that have potential. As you write more and more songs, you will get better. The process will become easier and the quality of what you write will improve with it. To recap everything that we've discussed today, Step 1 is do some research. Step 2 is create a song map. Step 3 is to write the core ideas. Step 4 is to turn those ideas into a song. And step 5 is to congratulate yourself. After you do this a handful of times, you will be able to change some of these steps up or remove some altogether. It's not supposed to be the perfect formula for writing songs. It's designed to make the process really simple and give you the tools to start writing on your own. I hope this has been illuminating and I hope you're inspired. If you've got any questions, please leave them below. See you next time.